Aloha everybody. Hi. I thought I'd do a spirit chat session on how to tell if you're an empath. So I get a lot of questions from different people who have psychic abilities or who are having issues if they go out and they're feeling different feelings and they don't know, are they an empath? Are they not an empath? What is an empath? I don't even know what an empath is, but am I one? So I thought I'd just do a quick spirit chat post on this. And what a spirit chat is if you haven't joined my higher purpose learning group, I actually do a spirit chat question and answer session where you can ask any kinds of questions you want that's regarding anything spiritual, not like a reading question, but any spiritual questions. And we go ahead and we discuss it and I answer your questions live. So today we're going to talk about how to tell if you're an empath. It's going to be a short video, and after this video I'm going to go ahead and go over to the higher purpose learning group. I'll give you guys about 10 minutes or so, and we're going to actually discuss more in-depth spiritual questions. If you're interested, I'll post the link below, or someone will post the link below for you. So what is an empath? An empath is a psychic sense that everybody has. Well, no, I take that back. Not everybody has it, but I'm noticing that a lot more people are empaths now. That has a lot to do with the dimensional shift, things that are going on, the veil thinning, the spiritual veil thinning, and everybody being able to feel spirits and feel their spiritual body more. So it has a lot to do with that. In fact, I've been a psychic, well, my whole life. I don't know what it's like not to be one. But before, probably 20 years ago or whatever, I'm a really strong empath. And it's funny, you might hear some dinging from people asking questions. I don't know how to fix that. So before, I'm a very strong empath, and I didn't know other empaths. That it's a psychic sense that has developed a lot over the years, and again, it has to do with the veil thinning and people's spiritual bodies. And this is something that we're going to talk about because a lot more people are experiencing it, so you need to know what it is. So anyways, it's one of your psychic senses. So how do you tell if you're an empath? Well, what an empath is it's somebody who can feel other people's energy. So you can feel their emotions, you can read energies around you in regards to people and places. So you may not have something where you can see the future like some people do with their clairvoyance, clairaudient, that type of thing. An empath is something where you can just feel energies around you and you can really feel energies of other people. So that being said, how do you tell? Because some people go, well, I can feel a lot of energies. One of the huge ways that people can tell is that do you get overwhelmed when you go into a place, I'm laughing about this because this is really common, such as Walmart. Like if you go into a Walmart or a place that has like a lot of high energy people or just different stuff going on, and you get really overwhelmed feeling and you feel like you might be able to feel like you can't breathe very well. You might be able to just feel like you're having anxiety. Maybe your heart starts pumping a little bit more and you just feel like you want to get out. You just feel like, you have to leave, or you're just feeling very anxious and uncomfortable. That is one way to tell if you're an empath. That is an empathic sign. If you have senses when people are lying to you or maybe not telling the truth, being a little manipulative, a little shady, and just you have no concrete evidence, but something kind of in your chest and you just feel like something's not quite right, then that is also another way to tell if you're an empath. And I am going to get to some of these questions you guys are asking, so I will get to them as soon as I get through the list. Mood swings. This is something people are experiencing a lot right now. So don't be surprised if you find that you have a lot of these abilities, because they're becoming more common. If you feel like you are probably getting in a bad mood, or you're being affected by people's negativity, even when you're having a great day, and yes, that can happen anyways, but it can happen in a way that just, it feels like it's your own anger or your own being upset or your own feeling anxious just because you've been around someone's presence. Before, that wasn't happening so much. Before, people could be around negative people and they weren't taking that feeling on as their own feeling. And so what happens is you end up going home and you end up feeling like, why am I so angry? Like, I was having a good day and now I'm just angry at the world. I feel like I need to hide in my room and shut the door. And so that's another way that you can tell, is you're really affected by negativity and people around you. But how you can tell the difference between if it's your own anger is, did something that upset you or put you in a bad mood, was it followed by a train of thoughts? So if it was followed by a train of thoughts, then it's something that you're just irritated about or you're upset about. But if it's not followed by a train of thoughts and it just came out of nowhere, you're picking up on someone else's energy that you just were with or that you came in contact with or whatnot. A lot of nurses, doctors, and people are empathic people. They can feel ailments or just have an intuitive sense about how to fix somebody. Like they don't even realize they have it. Some doctors I know and some nurses I know do realize they have it, but it's really common for them not to know that they have it, and they just have kind of a sixth sense of like what to do with these people. That's also an empathic skill. And being drained, this is kind of goes with the negativity part. If you find that when you're around the presence of others, that you feel very drained afterwards, and it's not all people, just some people, if you find you're around certain people, even if they seem like that they're in a good mood, and you leave and you think, oh my God, I gotta go take a nap, like I'm really tired right now, that is a huge empathic sign. So that drained feeling can feel a lot of different ways after you've been around somebody. It can feel like you're out of body, so you can kind of feel like you're just not detached, like you're not right present, that you kind of are sleepy or whatever, and that's that out of body feeling. You can feel lightheaded. After you've been with somebody, you can feel dizzy. You can feel like you have low blood sugar. Low blood sugar and anxiety when you shouldn't have low blood sugar, or let me take that back. The low blood sugar feeling that you get, if you know that you shouldn't have low blood sugar, that shaky, weird feeling, that really happens to a lot of empaths, especially when you shouldn't be having it. Like maybe you had lunch like an hour before, but you're with somebody and then you start feeling weird and shaky. That's a very big empathic sign. And being anxious, that anxious feeling that you get after you've been around somebody or you're around a lot of people, people don't realize how much anxiety has to do with being an empath. And it doesn't mean you shouldn't go treat it the regular ways, but it does have a lot to do with being an empath. So I'm going to answer a couple of these questions. I got to scroll back, guys. Just bear with me for a minute. And then we're probably going to pop over to the higher purpose learning group, and then we're going to go into a more in-depth spirit chat. So after we're done, and if you enjoyed the video, comment below and I'll pop in and we'll do some more spirit chats every once in a while. Miriam says, can you become an empath or are you born with it? Both. You can have both. What I'm seeing now is I was born with it. I was always a very strong empath, but I'm noticing people are, as you begin to discover your spiritual body and people are beginning to feel their spiritual body instead of just constantly feeling their physical body, they're becoming more aware of how their spiritual body feels. I'm noticing more and more people are developing the empath skill, which is basically being able to read people's energies around them. And so, no, you can develop it. And everybody is really born with an ability to read energy. So, but yes, they can develop it more. So it's both. Is it true empathic abilities are also an inherited trait? Yes. I guess with that, Leola, we're talking about the degree that you're an empath. So for instance, I talk about this all the time, but everybody has the ability to play sports, but not everybody has the ability to be a professional baseball player. So it's the same type of thing. If you have the abilities that you're inherited with, psychic abilities, that type of thing, then you can probably, become a professional reader or that sort of thing. If you want to, you don't have to. But there's also people, everybody can tap into their spiritual body, their intuition, their psychic abilities. Everybody's born with something of the spiritual nature because we're spiritual people, and they can tap into that a lot more. The funny thing is people don't realize that, and they kind of just go, well, I wouldn't have that gift. Why would I have that gift? I didn't feel this way. And it's the more people I talk to like that when I do readings or when I teach classes, it's funny because they'll start remembering things about when they were little and go, oh yeah, I do remember I used to do this when I was younger, or yeah, I remember seeing this person or feeling this way or having this dream and then having something happen. So a lot of times everybody can remember being, I would say very familiar with their abilities because you all have them. We're all spiritual. It's just how far have you developed them? How much have you ignored them over the years, and how much do you want to develop them now? What I teach about, and I have that class coming up if anybody's interested, but what I teach about is basically, since you have these abilities, wouldn't you like to use them to make life easier? I mean, who doesn't want life easier, right? So just learn to tap into them and learn to help, help guide yourself through these abilities. You all have them. Whether you believe it or not, you're born with it. You're a spiritual person, just like you're a physical person, and you can walk around in your physical body. You're also a spiritual person, so you have access to a lot of these abilities. You just need to relearn and learn how to not block them and learn some things that you haven't been taught so far. So Amanda says, can being an empath or have the sense become stronger or more sensitive with age? Yes, it can, but it can also go the other direction. So people, like a lot of times people have it when they're born. They have it when they're little, 5, 6, 7, whatever. And they get older and they go to school and they think nobody's talking about it, nobody has it, and then they shut it down. They get married, they have kids, they shut it down. So a lot of times it's really common for, as an adult, to shut it down. But it can go the other way. So yes, you can get it more sensitive with age for sure. And with anybody with psychic abilities out there who is watching this, you're probably going to notice over the last 2 years, or maybe even if you're not psychic, I guess it doesn't matter either way, that your abilities have heightened. And or even if you didn't feel like you might have had any psychic abilities or intuitive abilities, you may notice that you're starting to. That's really common with this veil thinning. And so it's going to continue to get more and more that way. It's just very common. So over the last couple years, everybody's more sensitive. People who did not think they were sensitive are finding out that they are sensitive. They're opening up to it and they're realizing it is happening to them. And people who were sensitive are becoming more sensitive. So it's becoming more and more, not less and less. So that will continue to happen, by the way. It's not going to go backwards. It's just the I guess I would say, I don't know how you explain it, but it's the era that we're in is what's happening as far as astrological and all of that. I can relate to all these things that you have said, and cool. Okay, how about what you wear when you're out and about? And you need to be a little bit more specific on what you wear. I guess I don't really get, it shouldn't really matter what you're wearing if you're more empath or not empathic. I mean, wear what you want to wear. I don't think clothing has anything to do with it. That's funny because that's like, I know psychics that can't do readings if they're not like, don't eat meat or or drink sodas, or it's really weird. I don't think that those types of things has anything to do with your empathic skills. Oh, Lydia posted the link to the Higher Purpose Learning Group. Thanks, Lydia. And so go add that if you want to continue on with these this chat after this one's done. Go add that. I'll make sure I add everybody in the group before I do that. Thanks for addressing this one especially. Mandy, I've had to learn how to avoid people in public because I hear stories and they make me feel those feelings. I'm telling them I am sad a lot. Mandy, that doesn't have to happen. I'm not even kidding you. I'm one of the strongest empaths I've ever come across. And that sounds really weird, but my empathic skills are so strong, and I've had to learn how to deal with all kinds of people. I have the same issue. I can go out. I don't even have to talk to people. I can literally walk by people in a store, and I can tell you right then how their day's been, how they're feeling, if they're upset, if they're happy. And if you can learn to kind of shut that off or shield yourself or make it not kind of come into your bubble, in your energetic bubble, you can learn your brain and your body to separate. So you can learn how you can get the feeling, it'll feel like your own, but your brain will realize it's not because you learn how to become an empath, and it'll just brush it off and it'll just go right out your body as soon as it came in. So with teaching and education, you can learn to separate, and you can learn to where it doesn't become your own stuff all the time. And it's, Mandy, you really might want to check into that class that I'm doing, because I think that you could learn a lot with them. There's no point in running around feeling sad. Like it can affect your physical body. That's another thing that people don't realize with psychic ability and developing your skills is it can make you feel very tired. It can make you feel like upset. It can make you feel drained if you're not learning proper techniques to make your brain realize what's different, separate it, and do some physical things that you have to do. And it really helps just the knowledge when you realize it's not you. Mandy, you could you definitely, Mandy, try to go to that group, because I think that you can have a lot more stuff going on that you can be helped with. Miriam, somehow people in my office has come to my office to complain, aren't you lucky? Or tell me their problems. I don't ever encourage it, but it leaves me always drained and many times upset. You're double lucky. That's actually a sign of an empath, a very strong sign. People are drawn to you to tell you their problems. It's the funniest thing. You will not believe what people tell me in the most random place. They will not know who I am, not know I'm psychic, not know anything, and they'll just like blurt out all these crazy things about their family or their kids or whatever. You don't have to feel upset. Again, Miriam, I think you're in that group, and I don't know if you're signed up for the class, but there's ways to live a healthy, wonderful existence of being an empath without having all these energies affecting your life. And that is something that I'm really trying to teach. And believe me, I've practiced these techniques, I've learned them, I've developed them, because I don't like that feeling as well of being overwhelmed, or I don't need to take on anybody else's stuff. You guys don't need to. You can still help them and not even need to take on their stuff. So you can imagine when I'm doing readings all day. So it's something that you can very much learn to change. So sorry about that. Sometimes the video goes out for a little bit. Melody, hi Jennifer, hi Melody. Good to see you. Well, you're probably outside in the sun. It's gorgeous and hot here. People love to share their stories with us. Well, that's definitely a sign of an empath, like we just talked about with Miriam. Thanks for your answer. You're welcome, hon. I want a camera outdoor on beautiful Hawaii. Well, I don't have a camera for out there. Maybe I'll do a Snapchat or a video from outside sometime. Lydia posted a link to the class again. Thank you, Lydia. You guys are so sweet. Sandy, I'm a happy person normally. I'm always smiling and I'm looking at life as a blessing. I find that when I'm around people that never have nice things to say, sorry, this is a long one, about things, she's negative about most things, and then say she didn't say that stuff, I feel drained. I also feel distant when I wake up, usually 48 hours, someone I know passed away again. Yes, all those things are empathic skills. Absolutely. That's for sure. Yes, Sandy, you are an empath. And Sandy, if you're not in the group, go click on that link that Lydia posted. Get over to the group, because you're going to have a lot of support and a lot of questions, a lot of things going on that you can ask. And we do these spirit chats in that group, guys. Like, I try to do it once a week, but once every 2 weeks, and we really have long chats. So it's really helpful. You guys get a lot of stuff. Good stuff, Jen. Feels spot on. Hi, Sean. Oh, hey. So glad you don't. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good to see you. Oh, it's so good to see you guys on here that I haven't seen or talked to for a while. Nicole, I feel certain emotions stronger than others. A really strong one is when I see someone else crying. I feel the urge to cry. Is that normal? That I feel some emotions stronger than others. That is normal. It's just your development of your empathic skill. For me, for instance, and Nicole, that might change. My guess is that's early development of your empath stuff, or my intuition tells me that you're kind of in the earlier stages. Actually, as you begin to develop that skill, if you choose to, it'll probably develop whether you choose to or not. What's going to happen is you're going to feel very strong emotions to all emotions. So for instance, I don't necessarily have to be with somebody upset or whatever. It doesn't matter what the feeling, it hits me like it's my own feeling, like just smack. Really strong. So that is normal, but you will probably notice that you'll start feeling all emotions the same, whether they're crying emotions or happy emotions or whatever. And you guys, you should feel happy ones too. A lot of people are talking about how sad they feel, but happy ones do come with this. Amanda, thank you for answering my question. The last few years I've noticed a steady increase in sensitivity in public places. It was like a sudden snap one day. Very interesting. Again, I guess I'll get a little bit into this. With the Mayan calendar shift, everybody talked about how they felt like, and I don't know if any of you guys have read my article down below on the dimensional shifts, but there has been some earth energetic astrological changes that are huge. They have been talked about for thousands of years. They're on calendars, the Mayan calendar, etc. Everybody just assumed the world was going to blow up in one big bang and everybody was going to be, there would be no earth or whatever. So that's not what happened. what happened is the energy is shifted on an energetic, or the earth is shifting on an energetic level. The spiritual veil, all that kind of stuff is shifting. And so where everything was primarily physical before, it is now shifting to be more spiritual based. So where people were feeling their physical bodies and feeling physical and feeling everything really strong physically based, that was before. Now with the spiritual shift, people are starting to feel their spiritual bodies, and they're starting to feel confused. They're starting to feel like, why was I feeling so good for so many years happening to me? Why was I satisfied before, now I'm not satisfied, or I feel like I'm soul searching? Or why do I feel like just this unsatisfied, like almost like a void? Why do I feel like there's a void now when I felt great all that time? It's not because of your age. It's not because you turned 30 or 40 or 50. It's because of this whole shift that's going on. What happens is everyone's beginning to feel their spiritual body. So now you're feeling two bodies. You're feeling your physical body and you're feeling your spiritual body. So this other body that's back here is starting to just get bigger and make like a bigger presence, like, hey, pay attention to me. And everybody before just felt their spiritual body, and so, or their physical body. And so it's becoming confusing. They're not knowing, which way to turn. They're not knowing, why do I feel this way? Well, what's happening, just to sum it all up, because this is way longer than I thought it was going to be, is with your spiritual body, you're feeling that void, and you're feeling it because people have to nourish their spiritual body. With that becomes higher psychic senses, higher sensitivities, a better, like, you can read energy more than you could read before. Like, all this stuff is going on, and so you're beginning to feel your spiritual body like you've never felt before. Its wants and needs are very different than your physical body. So with that, it's going to demand that you pay attention to it until that void and all that is fulfilled. In fact, we were talking about this in one of the groups today, and the thing is people they always think that feeling of happiness or the feeling of not so happy came from their physical body. It's never come from your physical body. It's always come from your spirit. So those feelings now can no longer be ignored. And so that's what's happening in this new era and all of that. So everybody's going to be feeling stronger. They're going to, as far as their psychic senses, they're going to be feeling confused. They're going to be feeling off balance and dizzy because they're experiencing their spiritual body, which has a whole different feeling that goes along with it. And so everybody's going to be feeling different. That's what's happening. Everybody's going to be okay. It's just learning how to just, be happy with your spiritual body, learning how to merge them together, learning how to not be affected by all these different energies. Lydia, you did another recap, everybody, so that's cool. Thank you. Patty, sometimes I feel people's energy if they're nasty to mean. I feel drained a week ago. I greet customers. So Patty, yeah, the energy that you're feeling, if you're feeling people's energy off that's what an empath is. Nicole, thank you. Miriam, does the energy shift have anything to do with animals becoming more in tune with humans? Absolutely. It also has to do with a lot of animals having issues, health issues right now. So there's a lot of animals that are getting sick or even passing away or having a lot of health issues. That 100% has to do with this shift. So I greet customers a week. I'm trying to get Patty's question. I greeted a customer like a week ago. She told me she had a sad story that happened, and I could feel all of her sadness. After she left work, I felt weird. I even got a headache. That's definitely an empath skill. So you definitely want to pay attention to that. And hey guys, I'm going to give you a tip too. If you're around people, we should do a spirit chat on this another day, but when you're around people who make you feel drained or icky or weird, or they did tell you a weird story and you just want that out of your system, this is going to sound really funny, but there's ways to ground yourself. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to distract yourself from that person. Don't think about it. Don't dwell on it. The more you think about somebody as an empath, so for instance, I can think about your friend or the person you talk to, and the minute I think about them, it comes straight in my body. I can feel exactly how they feel, and I can tell you everything about how they're feeling right then. So you want to not think about that anymore. Do something to distract yourself, number one. The second thing that you can do is if you've had like a lot of contact with them, this is going to sound really funny, but water helps. Washing your hands with water, taking a shower, that type of thing. And incense helps. Like, energy hangs out like around your body, and if somebody leaves, they can leave that energy in the room. In fact, it's so strange, and it is really attached to people, but I've had people come in my house before that have this weird energy attached to them, and what you need to do is get it out of your house. So you can open your doors, windows. It's summertime, open your doors, windows. But also you can sage, you can use some different scents, incense, things that smell good to you. It's weird, but it works. Smells work. It gets that energy off of you. It gets it out of your space, but sidetrack yourself. Don't think about that person over and over again. That brings that energy right back into your system. Don't think about what their story was. Sidetrack yourself, pretend like you're doing something else, you never talk to them, etc. Mandy Holcomb, thank you. About to run out of service. I'll check the class. Good. Robert Sullivan, hi Jen, I'm digging this. Tell Dave I said hi. Hey, how's it going? I will tell him that you said hi. So cool you stopped in. I am so excited that I got to talk to some of you guys that I haven't seen for a long time. This is so cool, and I'm so glad that you guys are enjoying it. And Robert, that's very cool that you were enjoying it. Bobby, actually Bobby. So I am going to pop over to the other group. We are going to have a longer spirit chat session. If you guys enjoyed this, definitely comment below, and maybe I'll try to do one over here once a week. And again, what a spirit chat session is, we're going to answer all your spiritual questions. Anything that you're wondering about, whether it be, something that happened now, something that's happening to everybody, whether it be gifts that you have or questions that you have like you guys are answering, definitely comment below. If you guys are digging this, if you're loving it, I will be back. We will do more. And hopefully that helps. Hopefully you can determine if you're an empath or not and what to do about it. And we'll talk to you soon. Aloha.